Right, Pete, so I'm back. Now, what a game week we just had, haven't we? Absolutely diabolical, wasn't it? It was a lot of fun, really, but very, very frustrating, I mean, I got Salah in, and I was overjoyed when I watched the matches on Saturday. I turned it on, I think. I was middle of the night. I turned it on. Blooming Jota and Diaz had already left the pitch. Salah had come on, and he'd scored a goal. And so I woke up to this and I thought it just could not have gone any better. I was expecting a red arrow this week. So I didn't have Jota, didn't have Darwin. My planning had been totally disrupted by Trent getting injured, so I had no Liverpool players. But the good thing with losing Trent was I had the sort of exact money almost to get Salah in. And I deliberately went to bed early before the deadline because I didn't want the team news to put me off getting him in. Because I knew that if he wasn't starting against Brentford, if I was up, I would have probably caved in and not got him. So I went to bed. Sure enough, he didn't start, but I was pretty confident over the two games he'd get enough minutes to justify his selection. But as it turned out, he was absolutely blinding. Great form. He got 11 points, could have had more. And by the end of the night, Watkins had done well. All my players had done well. Saka was getting a really good score. And I was really looking forward to watching the Luton game. But as it turned out, Salah re-injured himself. And goodness knows what he would have, how many points he would have got if he played last night. Or would he have probably only played half a match anyway, wouldn't he? But even so, I was looking forward to another 10 or so points. And it would have been a fantastic game week. But it wasn't to be. And I wasn't too upset because we all had bad luck this week, didn't we? I mean, some people triple captain Darwin. I see Late Riser triple captain Darwin. And well done to him, by the way, because I saw a tweet by him where he said he doesn't care if he finishes 100k or 300k or a million. And that's the attitude you need. If you want to win, if you want to get up the top, you have to, at certain times, you have to see an opportunity. And when everyone else is triple captaining Salah, I mean Haaland, what a terrific opportunity to triple captain someone else and make or break. Because it doesn't matter if you lose, because if you're not having a good season, it doesn't really matter anyway. But he was so unlucky with the injury. Jota owners were unlucky with the injury. And so was I in the end with Salah and, of course, Trent. But it really was a game week, I think, of misfortune, really, wasn't it, for everybody in the end? I was crowing it at half time. But it was a bit like my golf game today. I went out and played golf this morning. First 9 holes, every ball I hit, really bad shots, all into the trees. But it was like the trees were chucking it back at me. I'd like hit a tree trunk and the ball would fly back on the fairway. I couldn't believe what was going on. But the second half was the complete opposite. I was playing good shots that would just kind of catch a rough or whatever, or just catch a bunker, and really bad luck on the back nine. And that is really pretty much like FPL. You can play good shots and get a bad outcome, or play really bad shots and get a good outcome. And we saw that this week, didn't we? Because, people prepared a lot better than me for this game week. And I was pretty much, before it started, I think I said to you lot, I was expecting a red arrow because, like I said, Trent had really disrupted my preparations. I had no Jota, no Darwin. I could see that there were really, really strong options, but I just couldn't get them in. I wouldn't have had enough players for this coming week. And, but as it turned out, I got lucky, but in the end, unlucky as well. So, the whole week really came down to luck, didn't it, in the end? But we'll have a look at a few teams anyway later. First, we've got to have a quick look to see what we're going to do, because we'll do it quickly. This is my team. I've got 10 players, 2 choices basically. Either take out Salah, who would, if he hadn't been injured, he would have been fantastic for me. We got Forest in game week 27. It would have been perfect. Maybe he still has got Forest in 27. But now I don't know if he's proper injured, whether Klopp's just resting him for the League Cup final. The little prick will probably be running rings around Chelsea, won't he, at the weekend? And they're going to go and rob Chelsea of the League Cup. And it'll turn out there's nothing wrong with Salah. But On the other hand, he could be, he could be proper injured. And he's tying up a lot of money in my team. A lot of money. It says I got 13 million now. I haven't because Salah's still there. There we go. I've got zero point 0.3 in the bank. And I could do Pedro Porro to Saliba. But no, got Newcastle. I watched the black box earlier. What they didn't mention was that Arsenal have just lost to Porto. And they got a very short turnaround before that Newcastle match at the weekend. And it's not the ideal fixture to field double Arsenal defence, really, is it, against Newcastle? So I thought it better to bring one of them in next week. And I think really, apart from that Forest fixture, Salah's fixtures aren't fantastic. So for the sake of my team, I think I'm going to have to let Salah go. Now the next thing is, who do I get? All the good players really haven't got fixtures. You've got Arsenal. I don't know who I'd get. Odegaard, Martinelli. Who do you get? The Arsenal defence. Havertz. So like I said, they just played Porto. I'm not really keen. I think I'd rather have Gabriel and Saliba, but just not this week. Because at least Arsenal can defend, and hardly any other teams seem to be able to at the moment. So if I'm not getting an Arsenal player, who else have we got? I don't want Mitomo. I think's really good. If I didn't have a Brighton mid already in Gross, I'd probably get Mitomo in, or Gross. If I didn't already own him. But people are talking about Bailey. But the thing with Bailey is he's been playing a lot, but Cash was out then, and sometimes Cash can play as a winger as well. So and Bailey, he does come off a lot, but he could be coming off a bit even more now with Cash back. So I'm not overly keen on Bailey. The other two everyone's talking about this week are Bowen, who would have been my natural choice. I've only just taken Bowen out a few weeks ago, but having owned him for the last 8 weeks, I've seen that his output's really dropped. Really dropped. And the other thing is I'm not interested in game week 29. Couldn't care less about it, peeps. All I see on Twitter, on podcasts, everything else, people waffling on about game week 29. That's all you hear, isn't it? Me, I've already decided, I'm using my free hit game week 29. So as far as I'm concerned, until game week 29 turns up, I don't care about it. That's it. I don't even take it into my plans. So I'm looking here at Bowen because he's the best option, or not the best option, but there's a better option, I think, and it's the one that everyone else seems to have honed in on, and that's Wang. Now, you know me, I don't like to get the same player as everybody else. I do my best to avoid it, which is why I had Salah last week and everyone else had Jota. But this particular week, I really cannot see a better alternative, to be honest with you. Because like I said, they've got Sheffield United, and Sheffield United are like the new whipping boys of the FPL. And the other thing I looked at with this Chan, which is quite interesting, is that he rotates really well with Palmer. Like people are saying Palmer's got bad fixtures, you can get rid of him. Well, for my team, I think this Chan character is actually a very good option because I get him this week. He costs next to nothing. I still got 7.8 million in the bank, which is good because when I do want Salah or De Bruyne or whoever it might be, I've got the money there. So get Chan in this week, and then we'll go forward plan to next week. I've got this. Hang on, we'll just stick with this week tiny bit more because I am kind of contemplating taking a hit to take Alvarez out for Solanke this week, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll just stick with a bare 11. Estupinian might not play. Maguire might not play. Alvarez might not play. Foden even might not play. So goodness knows how many I'm actually going to start with. But these ones I've got in the bench with no fixture, I don't want to take them out because, like I said, Pedro Porro's got some good fixtures coming up. Palmer and Gusto I think are good enough to stay and cheap. They're very cheap. I don't really want to take them out. So we'll go on to the next week. So game week 27. This is where me, everybody else, I'll take out Alvarez at home to Man United and bring Solanke in. Almost, like I said, I'm almost tempted to do it this week because Alvarez is going to drop in price. But I'll wait till next week, I think. Get Solanke in. And here you see that Chan is away at Newcastle for Wolves, whereas Palmer's got Brentford, so I can swap them over next week. And that gives me a nice front seven. I can bring Gusto on, bench Maguire away at Man City. So I've got a good defence. I don't need Porro that week. So then we go on to 28, which is the double game week. And Solanke captain, obviously. Triple captain. Oh, no, I can't triple captain, can I? But Chan comes back on. And Foden goes to the bench, I think. Get away at Liverpool. Maguire can come on, or he can even stay on the bench. All my defenders have got good games that week. So I think I'm pretty nicely set up, to be honest. I don't see I need to do too much. I could always buy another defender. And this is, again, we've got another double in game week 28, where Luton and Bournemouth have got an extra game. And we saw in the last game week that a lot of people were taking out single game assets and replacing them with double players, and the single players are outscoring them, weren't they? So if you look at the fixtures my players have got here, there's not many I'd want to take out to bring in Luton players, to be honest with you. You know, it's good if you've got the Luton goalkeeper, you play him, probably play Doherty if you've got him. But I'm not going to be rushing out to make transfers to bring in Luton Town players simply because they've got two fixtures. And I think both of them are away from home. Maybe they're not. But whatever they are, I wouldn't, no, I don't think I'd be taking hits to get Liverpool, to get, Jesus peeps, I'm gone. I don't usually do them at this time of day. Very sleepy, very sleepy. So that'd be it. Whether I bring in another Bournemouth player or not, possibly depends if anyone gets injured, you know, or maybe Maguire's no longer in the team. And then I'll take somebody out and bring in a Bournemouth defender maybe, as long as it's not for a hit. So that's pretty much my plan. And then game week 29, I'll be using my free hit chip. And game week 30, this is why I'm keeping Pedro Porro. I'll have Pedro Porro at home to Luton. One or two of these players probably would have changed by then. But you can see I've got a fairly decent team. Although Arsenal have got a very horrible fixture away to City in game week 30. But I've got, that's everything. I've got Palmer in game week 30 at home to Burnley. It's another reason to keep Palmer. Solanke's home to Everton. Watkins home to Wolves. Haaland, you're going to play him no matter what. Gross has got a bad fixture. So then it may be time to make another transfer somewhere. And but it looks pretty good. And I've got no need to wildcard in game week 30. No need to do anything. I'm just going to play the, you know, people that are not using their free hit chip in 29 are bringing all these rubbishy players in now, and then they're going to need to wildcard in game week 30. Well, I'm not. I'm just going to have all the players I want and wildcard before one of the doubles, and then during the double use my bench boost. That's always what I've done. It's what I'm going to do this time. I'm not going to overthink it. You know, I've seen a lot of people overthinking things, peeps. Oohing and ahhing about game week 29 non-stop. You know, it gets a bit tedious, doesn't it? Anyway, what I'm going to show you now is my mini league, I think. Where are we? This is the one here. Real community. This is my team anyway. Sorry about that, I got a bit confused. Right, so my league real community, this is one I show you every week. I've got 99 points, pretty average. Guy called Bateman here. You know Bateman, you people on Twitter. He does little threads of the stuff that's happening on Twitter every day. Well, he got 115 this week. We'll have a quick look at his team. Triple captain. He basically did what we all did, but he just had that right combination. You know, he had Walker and Van Dijk. He had Jota, of course, got injured, but he didn't have Darwin. So he had Solanke, Watkins and Haaland. Didn't go overboard on Liverpool players, only got two of them in, Van Dijk and Jota. And he had the right City defender, so he got 115, you know. So he's done well. So I think he's up to 5k in the world now. And doing well. He's winning this competition. But a team we've got to look at, peeps, is our old friend Wag, because Wag here got 90 points. You think, well, 90 points, you know, it's kind of average score for the week, isn't it? But as you know, she had no light blue. She's got no Man City players in that in a game week where Man City were like supreme, weren't they? Everyone's triple captain in Haaland. She's gone and she hasn't even got any, which is absolute crazy, completely mad. And the worst thing was our captain, of course, was Jota, and the captain failed. And the other thing she did, I thought, which was really interesting, her transfer was actually Højlund. She brought Højlund in. You'd think, why would you bring Højlund in? Why wouldn't you bring Darwin in? Or Tony? Why didn't she bring Tony in? And she explained that she thought Højlund's one single fixture and his next fixture were better than Tony's two fixtures during that double game week. And she was right. She got 13 points from Højlund. That's pretty amazing, isn't it, really? And she managed to avoid Darwin, of course, but she did have Jota captain, like I say. But she's still got 90 points with no Man City and Jota captain. So it's pretty incredible when you think about it, isn't it? She dropped, but not by much. She's like 59k now overall. Hasn't had a single Man City player all season. And the funny thing is, she's in this league called Never Haaland for people that have never owned Haaland. And when this week started, the one who was leading it, he was like in the top 10 in the world. He's never had Haaland all season. He was up like top 10. And about 4 weeks ago, he bottled it and he bought Haaland. And since he's bought Haaland, I think he's had a red arrow every single week since, you know. But he bowed to the pressure. Whereas Wag here doesn't really seem to care, and seems to like the celebrity status of not having any Man City players. But she's actually doing really well, and we've been following this team all season, and it just shows that there's more than one way to skin a cat, isn't there? So she's over the worst now. I think she's still got a triple captainship, and she'll be using that with Solanke, no doubt. So from here on in, it's going to be interesting where she ends up. Anyway, peeps, that's enough of her. So we'll go back and we'll have a quick look at the homepage for this iTeam or whatever it's called, fpl.team. See what people are doing. Now, top transfers, Darwin to Solanke, nice and easy. If you've got Darwin, you go Solanke, don't you? Or Watkins, maybe. And the other one people are doing, by far the most people are bringing in this character I'm getting, this Chan, because of Wolves' fixtures, really. And he's really a striker, I think, isn't he? But he's been injured a bit. You look at this, I think he's got 10 goals, which is pretty good for 1,500 minutes. But everyone's doing Jota to him. A few people are getting Bowen. I suggest to you, the ones that are getting Bowen are only doing so because he's got a fixture in game week 29 and they're hedging their bets. But you're not worried about 29. People are getting Chan. Could have a fixture, could not. No one even knows yet, do it? It's ridiculous. So, top players in Solanke, Chan, Watkins, Saka, Neto. So all the people that got rid of Watkins and Saka for the double game week players are now bringing them back in again. That would be a walk of shame, wouldn't it? You wouldn't want to That'd be uncomfortable, wouldn't it, doing that? But I guess if you've taken Saka out, I mean, he's obviously the best one to bring back in, isn't he? But you'd be kicking yourself, wouldn't you? Top players out, Jota, Darwin, Palmer. See, I don't know about Palmer. I mean, a lot of people are taking him out, and there are good cheap alternatives, aren't there? Such as Garnacho. But to me, I got him so cheap, he's going nowhere. I can think of people I'd far rather take out than Palmer, like that little prick Alvarez. I don't know, he's playing deeper. I don't know, he's worth deeper than Kane, isn't he? He's like playing well back. He has occasional long shot, but he could have had quite a few assists actually if that prick Haaland had been on form. But future transfers, look, a lot of people in game week 27. This, I think City have got Liverpool. Are planning on getting rid of De Bruyne, getting rid of Foden. People are looking at getting Son in. Salah's coming in too. This is all planned ones. No one's actually done this yet. But, I mean, it's like this week I'm getting rid of Salah, but there's actually nothing to stop me. Say Salah is fit, does really well against Chelsea. There's nothing to actually stop me getting Salah back in when I know that Salah is fit and firing. But to keep him in when I don't even know if he's got a hamstring problem or not seems a bit silly because I really haven't got any other real decent players that I want to remove apart from that position at the moment. So people are obviously looking at getting Solanke in, looking at getting Haaland out, but I don't think I'll go that far. I think we're seeing the low point of Haaland at the moment. I mean, he can only get better, and even at his low point, he's still scoring at least, isn't he? So anyway, peeps, that's about it. I'm hopefully going to have 11 players this week. Hopefully, but we never can tell. But yeah, this is the week where the planning that everybody's done. People that have sold their blooming grandmothers to get Luton players in, etc. This is the week when we find out those who haven't bothered planning for game week 26 because they bought in too many double game week players and now they've got to take -8s and -12s, so I'm borderline. I won't have to take a hit, hopefully, but I've got people like a Stupinian, Alvarez, any of them might not turn up, Maguire. So it remains to be seen, press conferences. If you have got a blank, it's not like taking a -4, really. As funny as it sounds, it's not like a normal -4. If you've got a choice between playing nobody and taking a 4-point hit where you're probably going to get a minimum of 2 points, and it makes the hit cheaper than it is in a normal week, when you might take out somebody who actually scored more than the person you were bringing in. So if you haven't got 11 players and there's someone you want, then I wouldn't be shy about taking a hit, because like I said, they're on sale this week, extra cheap, 2 for the price of 1, peeps. Roll up, take your hits, take your punishment. You planned badly in game week 25, all your players got injured, boot them out, take a few hits, and get some shiny new toys in. Maybe you want Bowen and Hwang or Neto and all these people, good defenders, good strikers, get Solanke in. What could possibly go wrong, peeps? Anyway, I'm off now, and I'll talk to you all later anyway. So remember to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all on the other side of the game week. Okay then, peeps, bye for now.